Hey guys, it's Psychic Elle. I hope you guys are all doing amazing. In this video, we're going to be talking about empaths, what they are, there's been a lot of trendy stuff going on about empaths and that they're able to feel other people's emotions and that it's hard for you to go out in social settings because you're an empath. Well, I'm kind of just going to answer and kind of talk about empaths and the way that I believe empaths and what I think empaths are and what I think the purpose of it is and why empaths are even formed in the first place. I'm going to be talking about all of that in this video, so I hope you guys enjoy this, and yeah. The term empath comes from empathy, which is like the ability to understand someone else's experiences, emotions, feelings. You can actually sense and feel their feelings as it's a part of your own. In other words, someone else's pain and happiness becomes your pain and happiness. And I think the hardest part about being an empath is going into a bar and feeling all of the shame and the doubt and the guilt off of people, or going to a party and you can feel all of the deep emotions that people aren't dealing with in that social setting. So you feel like you're the socially awkward one when you're the one actually feeling and emotionally understanding their emotions while they're faking and having a good time. And this could happen anywhere. When you're with your friend, when you're out in public, when you're in a room with somebody, there's so many ways that empaths can actually feel emotions. And so I would say that being an empath isn't a good thing until you can understand your own energy. Because the reason why empaths are formed or created in the first place is because in your childhood, you've had to focus and feel and understand somebody else's emotions before your own. It's kind of like walking on eggshells. In your childhood, you were having to read the expressions of people, understanding their movements, making your decisions based upon if they were happy or sad. So you had to feel their emotion and understand their emotion before you went up and asked a question or said something. So you were kind of basing yourself upon this other person's energy as a child. For an example, in my childhood, I had to be aware of my father's and my mother's energy before my own. And this caused me to not understand or even know my own energy because I'm an empath, so I was so wrapped up in feeling and sensing and knowing their experiences and being there for them as a child to a parent. I was having to do this. So nowadays I used to struggle with social anxiety and these different things when I used to go out in public because I was feeling all of these other people's emotions and taking on all of their shit before I could even feel or understand my own energy. And so this has been programmed, and it's not even a program, because this empath ability, it will be with you for life. It doesn't just go away. But the ways that you can go around it are, first, protecting yourself. Second, knowing your own energy. Because if you can know your own energy and someone else's energy comes into your aura and your energy, you can tell it to leave right away. Because you know that it's not your energy and you know that you don't need to take on this other person's shit. Really and truly. Because you've been conditioned to do so. You've been conditioned to take on all these other people's energy, except even take an understanding to your own energy. And so the reason, I hope that kind of resonates with you guys, because as a child, really ask yourself if you had the time and the awareness to figure out what you really even wanted or desired, or was it more so based upon your parents' mood and what they wanted? Like, did you ever as a child wake up your parent from sleeping to ask them a question? Or did you ever ask them a question when you knew that they were in a bad mood, or you could read that they were gonna blow up, but you couldn't say anything about your shit and your feelings because of this other person, and you were feeling this other person's shit and trying to be there for them? I spent most of my childhood trying to be there for my parents and trying to help them grow and understand and be there for their feelings. And what that caused for me was me to be able to feel and read and understand their experiences within life and be their support. But that's not how it's supposed to go. You're not supposed to be your parents' support emotionally, and you're not supposed to have to work around somebody else's emotions, because you're not responsible for somebody else's emotions and their feelings, and especially your parents. And so as an empath, now you're growing up and you're still realizing that you're feeling all these other people's emotions, but it feels so much like yours. This is a crazy thing as well, is when you connect and feel somebody else's energy, it will feel so much like something you have felt. Because when you read someone else's energy, you're connecting with a part of yourself as well. You're connecting with that grief and that sorrow and that anger you felt, but you're feeling it from there. They're the one feeling the anger and the resentment and the hurt. But it feels so much like yours that you think it's yours. But if you know your own energy and you know like where you're vibrating at, and you know that this is how you are, and this, you know, if you know how yourself is, then when somebody else's energy comes in and you start getting thoughts, and you start getting weird, you start thinking about things that don't even resonate or even feel right to you, you're probably connecting with somebody else's energy and you're not protecting yourself. So I guess one way for you guys to I hope that helped you understand the concept of empath. But one thing that you can really do for yourself is protect yourself. And you can do this anyway. You just have to believe in it. You just have to know that you are protected. If you don't feel and you don't know that you are protected, then there's no point of even doing any of these protection methods, because it just won't feel good and it won't feel like it's actually protecting you. So some people just say the affirmation that I am protected, I take my power back, I call upon my power, I release any negative dense emotions that are not mine. You can do this by saying affirmations, but you can also do something physical as well. You can close your eyes and imagine a white light around you, protecting your aura field from the other energies of other people. And I'm not saying that you can't empathize and you can't understand people's emotions, but that's having boundaries with these other people's emotions. Before, you didn't have boundaries. You were just an empath and you were just feeling everybody's shit. So now it's having boundaries within yourself to be like, okay, this is my energy, that's somebody else's, and I don't want to take that on right now. No. So first thing you can do is protecting yourself. So closing your eyes, like I said, imagining that white light protection around you and feeling protected. But if that doesn't feel good to you and it doesn't feel like you're actually protected, then you might need to try a different method, whether that's keeping crystals with you, whether that's keeping something with you at all times that is helping protect you, whether it is saying good affirmations to yourself. There are plenty different ways that you can protect yourself. Using incense and rubbing incense all over your aura field. That's another thing that I do to wash off negativity. Another way is you can have a shower and imagine this negativity falling off of you. You can go into nature and have nature absorb all of this negativity and regenerate it into positive, which is also fun too. But another thing that I've also done is when I feel negative energy coming on to me from other people's, I actually help them transmute it. So what you can do is you can help this person transmute their energy. So you can say, I turn this negative energy into love and compassion for this person. I do not need to feel their negative energy. I turn it into love and compassion. I empathize for this person and I love this person, but I do not need to take on their old crappy baggage. So when you set those boundaries with yourself, you will see a huge difference in you being a powerful empath at this point. Because you being able to sense and feel and understand and sympathize with somebody else's emotions is very powerful. But if you are unconsciously doing it and you are feeling all these random people's emotions, you're gonna go home at that bed at night and you're gonna feel like absolute shit because you're holding on to everybody else's shit. So when you do these processes, it's gonna help you transmute and also let go of these other people's energies. Another way is knowing your own energy, and a way that you can do this is, how is your energy when you are alone? I know it's different when you go out, because when you go out, you are feeling somebody else's negative energy. It is not your negative energy. It is not your social anxiety. It's not you feeling anxious and feeling like you're being judged. That's someone else's feeling that you have resonated with before. You don't have to keep resonating with it though. So you can say, I take my power back. I let go of this shit. I let go of this person's energy and I take my power back. Because the emotions that you feel out in public, whether it is like you're scared of being judged, you feel anxiety, you feel fear, a lot of these emotions could come from other people. But when you are alone, do you feel that? Do you truly feel it? No, probably not. You probably are like, I'm the baddest bitch, I have the best vibration, I'm good, So when you are alone with yourself, actually get to know yourself and your energy. Where's your energy normally at? For me, I'm at a pretty chill, calm state. But when I go out or when I'm around somebody and I start to get anxious, I know that they're getting anxious because I'm not an anxious person. I have understood my own anxiety. I'm not an anxious person anymore. And so when I connect with somebody's energy and I feel that, it feels like something that's my anxiety, but it's not my anxiety, it's somebody else's. And so for me, saying that to myself, like, I take my power back, I do not need to feel this other person's emotions right now, I can choose to just feel my own. That's when you take your power back, and that's when you become a powerful empath, because you can choose when you want to be an empath, okay? Because it's not ruining your life at this point where you're like, yo, I'm so mentally drained and I'm emotionally drained because I feel like I'm taking on all these other people's shit. It's because you don't have boundaries with yourself and don't know your own energy. So if you can see where your energy is at on a daily basis, what you normally feel on a daily basis when you're alone, then you will start to get to know your energy. So like I said, when somebody else's energy comes in, you can know that it's not yours. Yes, it's something you resonate with, but you can realize that this is somebody else's emotions and experiences that I do not need to take on. Because also, as you were a child in the environment that you got brought up in, you were kind of having to take on other people's emotions. That's what you were conditioned into. You were conditioned to knowing everybody else and feeling everybody else except yourself, because no one empathized and sympathized for you. But that's where you got to sit down and empathize and sympathize for yourself. And that comes with shadow work. You can watch my other video if you have no idea what shadow work is. But that's where you do that inner work healing and that inner understanding that this is your energy. You know your energy. You know it. So if somebody else's energy is coming in, you're like, no, I don't deserve to take this on. But say you are doing a healing, or you're wanting to connect with somebody and you're wanting to sympathize and feel their emotions that they're feeling, you can still do that because that's your gift. You are empath. You can empathize for other people, and that is powerful, but you have to know how to use it. When you are walking into places, you're just feeling everybody else's baggage and you're not able to just sit in your own energy and feel the power of your own energy, because you're still having to do that when you're around other people. You're still having to do that out of safety. You're doing the empath thing out of safety. You're like, okay, I gotta read them, I gotta know them, I gotta feel their shit, because if I don't know their shit, then how do I know how to act or be around them? But when you know your own energy and you're being authentically to yourself, you don't need to know or understand their own energy because you don't care. But there's some times and some periods in your life where you're gonna wanna empathize and sympathize and feel that other person's emotions, and that's when it's powerful. Because you're using it you're choosing to use your power. That's what it is. You are conscious enough to use your own power, which is being an empath. You can choose to see that person across the bar and be like, what is this person feeling deep down inside that they are not understanding? And you connect with their energy right away. But then you can also transmute it and help them heal within themselves. So you have really big healer energy and a gift to offer, but it's also a curse if you don't know how to understand it and where it even comes from in the first place. So now that you understand that it's coming from your childhood and you weren't able to be yourself without knowing other people's emotions and feelings, you now need to learn to be yourself without knowing these other person's emotions and feelings. It's a big whole world, and it's a big understanding when you get to understanding it. But I hope this video helped you with being an empath. And if you would like to see any more content about empaths, I would love to know. And if you guys have any questions, drop it down below. But last thing I'm going to say is protect your energy and know your energy. So then when other shit is coming in, you know how to deal with it. I love you, and I hope you guys are doing amazing.